The little meat birds are on day 7. So 7 days of age, they will be raised just for 6 weeks and then be butchered and processed for poultry. These are Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens. They are, in a sense, like designer dogs. We often compare them to designer dogs because they are the product of selective breeding, in which very specific traits are prioritized so that those very specific traits are emphasized in the outcome of the breeding program. So the specific traits we want in meat chickens are basically efficient feed to meat conversion that results in rapid growth and that results in distribution of meat to the chicken breast, the drumsticks, and the thighs. So that's what we get when we raise Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens. Can give you a quick example of that. In just about 5.5 more weeks, these birds that are chicks now will easily look as big or bigger than this hen here at this feeder. Great example of a Cornish Rock Cross meat chicken at finish. But this is how it starts. So we are seeing the feathering on the wings. We see the feathering on chickens come in first at the wing tips and then on the wings. Another neat thing we're seeing is we're starting to see the feathering poking out at the tails. So it's still pretty hard to see through the camera, but in person we're definitely starting to see that right at their tails in some of the individuals. They're growing a lot. Their routine basically consists of eat, drink, manure, run around a little bit, rest. That's pretty much what they do. Not a whole lot of activity other than just moving around their pen. Most days we open up all of our big doors for our meat chickens around the barn here. We actually can open up all 4 sides of this building. This building was designed specifically for raising meat chickens in after we had had the trial and error of a couple of years of raising meat birds in a different setup. So normally we do open all the big doors, like there's a set there. It's basically a big set of double doors. But today is about 30 degrees cooler than the birds want it, temperature-wise, and it's raining, threatening storms. So for today, we're not opening the barn up. The one that just walked away from us, I'll try to catch another one, but that was a great example. There's some here at the waters. Great example of being able to see just the very beginnings. Can only zoom in so far. Just the very beginnings of the tail feathering actually starting. So that's pretty cool. And then like on that individual, we actually don't see it. But on the one closer to the camera there, we do. Aww. It's off to the races. So we will leave the barn pretty well closed today, but being really a rustic wood construction type barn, there's still a lot of great airflow, a lot of ventilation. We still kind of have that open air feeling in the barn. We are at 429 birds now, so we had a flock loss overnight. From the looks of it, it was a bird simply that got turned on its back, and when they're on their back, they're helpless to get flipped upright, and if they're on their back long enough, it basically cuts off their air supply. So ends up being a suffocation death. We can actually see the tail feathering really well on that one that just went out of the camera. There's the one with the bug still. It's fun to watch him play. He's chirping. So we are mostly seeing the birds overall pretty much stay under the footprint of their heat lamps. Even at a weekend to production, they still want ambient temperature of about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So with it only being about 60 degrees Fahrenheit outside today for us in Southeast Ohio, it really is about 30 degrees cooler ambient temperature outside than these birds want to be. So having the heat lamps is a must for them at this point. We do hope with this flock that the timing of this flock's production will allow us at some point to not be using the heat lamps. So, but the birds are happy, they're content, so we know we have conditions going well for them, and they're eating very well. Y'all might remember we had shared it had taken them day 1 through 3 to consume the first 50 pounds, but then they consumed the next 50 pounds in about a day. And then on day 5, we actually added 150 pounds into their pen, dispersed amongst these large silver feeders. They can each hold about 40 pounds apiece, but we dispersed about 150 pounds into the pen throughout those, and we're still in that 150 pounds. So they're working through finishing that, and we're going to be another day or two on them getting to that point. A little chase going on there. So I'm kind of estimating it will take them 8 or 9 days to eat the first 250 pounds of feed. So that's good. That's good rate of feed consumption that we have going. So we'll keep you posted. This is what we call day 7, and we'll check in with them day by day.